Hello there and welcome to Contact Sport. I'm Amy Bainbridge. Today, a sporting path that started almost by accident. Twin teenagers lured away from the bright lights of the AFL and into the boxing ring.
Pretty into our footy growing up and in our junior footy days we decided to do boxing in pre-season just to get fit, and a bit of extra fitness turned into quitting football a couple of seasons later and just focusing solely on boxing.
First though to basketball, and the men's Australian team is in Turkey ready for the World Championships that begin this weekend. The Boomers are bolstered by 2 NBA stars and an NBA assistant coach. They are Patrick Mills, David Anderson and the Boomers coach Brett Brown. But does their experience in the world's best league mean they can push the Boomers back into basketball's top 10? Well, Paul Kennedy caught up with the trio in Melbourne.
Well, he used to high fly, but he crashed out the sky.
The first thing you try to do is try to create some type of atmosphere where you can attract Australia's best players. They come from all walks of life.
As we proceed to give you what you need. As we proceed, we hit the freeway and roll.
When I watch international basketball, I look out for the NBA players and expect them to dominate. Is that realistic?
I mean, they're in the NBA because they're the best players in the world. And so it is fair to say that with that tag of an NBA player comes the expectation that you should dominate. And the thing that makes it a little bit of a mystery is when they get put in this all-star situation.
What's been the driving force of your career?
Trying to get better and reach the peak. Every time I stepped up, I just kind of raised the bar as I went along. As a junior, I thought maybe I could have a shot playing college ball, and then as I came out through the AIS, I realised I could play professional and make a living of it. And then when I started playing NBL, some offers came from Europe, and I was like, oh, okay, give that a shot. And then the NBA kind of came around once I was a bit more established in Europe. So it's just always constantly raising the bar and, trying to seek, bigger things.
David is solid. You look at David's resume and his experiences. He's been all over the world. He's tasted basketball at every level and succeeded at every level. And so he comes with an older head, like Matt Nielsen, far more of a leadership veteran type role in all capacities, on court, off court.
We roll on repping it 'cause some of these execs.
As a kid, you dream, have big dreams of wanting to, be on that big stage and hitting the game-winning shot. So that was me growing up, wanting to be that, make that big shot for Australia. So, I'm trying to make that dream come true now.
What do you think Paddy Mills' role is going to be? Even though he's very young, will he be one of your on-court leaders?
Absolutely. We expect him to be to come back from Turkey as one of the team's leading scorers. He is our engine, he's our motor. We're going to turn him loose and run with him. I think that at the end of the day, our bread is buttered inside with Nielsen, Anderson, and Al Marich. But in between that half-court game, we need to let him go. And I think that he has a lot of skills that enable me to say that, albeit at a young age at 22. I have high expectations from Patrick Mills in grooming him, ultimately toward London and beyond.
Every team that I've played for, leadership is something that has been important to me to be able to play at a professional level. Being a point guard, you need to have those leadership abilities to be able to, almost boss people around on the court.
Do you think you can win a medal?
I think the stars are going to have to be aligned very, very well. I think people, when you start talking about something as difficult as that, have to really understand the landscape, to really research the respective countries that are playing. And I think that with that research comes the clarity of this is a hard road. We all want to say it, we all want to do it, we want to do something that hasn't been done. And we go over there, with high expectation, and a lot of pride.
Yeah, it's a good feeling in the team. I mean, everyone's pretty friendly. Everyone gets along really well. We all hang out, even off the court. So, you know, we get out and get after it, you know. But saying that, the intensity and the competitiveness in practice is full on here. Like, you know, it's even higher than what I would rate in the professional teams. Like, guys really get after it. They're playing for minutes and playing for positions. So, you know, it's good like that. Everyone goes hard in practice, and then once you get off the court, everyone's good friends.
We have the team that we have now, and we fully believe that we can do something special with this team.
Our first goal is to get into the other round, to get out of our pool, to not finish fourth, to not have to cross over and play the United States in, you know, almost a death wish game. And that's how I see the group.
Great. Well, good luck with it.
Thank you very much.
We'll wish you all the best.
I see the DJs getting the love from every hip step in the club. We hit the freeway and roll.
We do wish them all the best indeed. Paul Kennedy with that story. Well, the Wallabies are in Pretoria getting ready for this weekend's Tri-Nations test against South Africa. Quade Cooper replaces Matt Giteau at fly half after serving a 2-game suspension for a dangerous tackle. Anthony Fainga moves to the bench to make way for Giteau at inside centre. And coach Robbie Deans says it's always a challenge playing in South Africa.
There's no doubt the history is not great. But this generation of players have experience playing on the high veld a lot more frequently than was the case historically. So it's not the barrier that it used to be. But obviously it's a barrier that we haven't cleared yet, so that's the opportunity we got this weekend.
Itching to go would be the better word for it. So, you know, I can't wait to play, and after watching for 2 weeks, you know, it's pretty hard to sit at home and watch the game. But, you know, being a part of the team, you know, so much different, and, you know, preparing for a test match is, you know, an experience in its own.
Well, one of Australia's hottest young boxing prospects, Damien Hooper, has won a gold medal in the middleweight class at the Youth Olympics in Singapore. But there's double trouble looming in the boxing ring, a family affair that started almost by accident. 9-year-old twins Andrew and Jason Moloney have their sights set on winning medals at the Commonwealth Games. Luckily, the pair won't have to worry about beating each other. They fight in different weight categories. Jennifer Browning caught up with the twins at the Australian Institute of Sport in Canberra.
We always had an interest in boxing, but it was a bit of an accident really. We were pretty into our footy growing up and in our junior footy days we decided to do boxing in pre-season just to get fit, and a bit of extra fitness turned into quitting football a couple of seasons later and just focusing solely on boxing. So just fell in love with the sport really.
And were the two of you both really into it? Did you train together?
Yeah, we've always trained together, and well, we started when we were about 12 or 13, and yeah, we sort of did on and off with footy and boxing, and then eventually just took over with boxing. What
was it about boxing that made you like it more?
There's something about it that's just addictive, I suppose, and all the pressure's on you, and it makes it feel better when you do win and achieve something. Probably the main advantage of the AIS, I'd say, is just being at a gym where there's 10 of the best boxers in the one country all together, so you all push each other along, and that definitely helps with the training side of things.
Out of the two of you, who's the older one?
I'm a minute older than Andrew. So.
And Andrew, you're a bit lighter, is that correct? So you fight in different categories?
Yeah. So I fight in the 49 kilo weight and he fights at 52, so yeah. He's an extra minute older and a couple of kilos heavier. So do you ever fight against each other in competition? Nah, sort of organise our weights like that on purpose so that we're in two different weight groups, and yeah, worked out that we both can go to the games. So if we went the same weight, only one of us would go. Your mum and dad must be very proud of you. Yeah, they're happy. Yeah, definitely. They support us a lot with the boxing. So we'll just keep going and see what happens. And were you guys able to finish school? Have you finished school? Yeah, I finished school and then went on to personal training. Yeah. We're both doing a personal training business, but yeah, it's got a bit hard juggling the boxing and the work as well. So giving that away, and yeah, struggling along without an income, but it's all worth it.
It does make it hard because it's an amateur sport. We don't obviously get paid, but at this level you need to train twice, 2 or 3 times a day to be competitive. So it's basically does make it tough not being able to work and just train, but something we have to do for the moment and struggle by to get it through. But hopefully we can win a medal at the Commonwealth Games and be worth it.
Pretty special, I guess. It's been a long journey, but and probably helped being twins. I guess we both train and pretty competitive against each other, so I mean probably pushed each other and probably helped us to both make the team.
Are you guys good mates?
Yes and no. No, we're pretty close, but yeah, sometimes have a couple of fights outside the ring as well.
I mean, you guys don't compete against each other, but have you ever gone one-on-one just for fun?
Yeah, we spar and we
training.
fight a lot in training, which helps a lot. So.
Is it an even spread of winnings for both of you?
I'll win a bit more.
No, it's pretty even. Yeah, we're pretty competitive.
And what are your hopes and for the future?
Well, definitely to get a medal at the Commonwealth Games would be a dream, but hopefully it's gold. But yeah, any medal would be absolutely fantastic.
And then do you have your sights set on London 2012?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, we'll hopefully get a medal here and a medal in London, which would be a dream come true. And then look into the future after that.
That story from reporter Jennifer Browning and cameraman Greg Nelson. Well, briefly to the AFL, and D-Day is looming, with Cats fans desperately hoping Gary Ablett Jr. will stay at the club and resist offers to lure him to Queensland. The Geelong Advertiser is wearing its heart on its sleeve, with this front page renaming the paper in Ablett's honour. But will the open letter to the Star convince him to stay in his hometown? Well, we'll find out when the AFL season is over. Contact Sport can be viewed online via iView or on our Facebook page. And for viewer feedback, you can send us an email. Thanks for your company. We'll leave you now with some pictures of the Wallabies in Pretoria. Paul Kennedy will be back for next week. Bye for now.